Yo, what's up, guys? What's up? We are live. Sitting here with Wes, Honest Coin Ambassador, back again. XCN every Sunday, guys. You know where it is you want to be, right here with Rob and Wes. All right, brother. How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Rob?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. It's been a very, very busy couple of days. Lots of action going on. A lot of, as you can see, with the XCN chart, man. Just like uh,
Absolutely.
like you and like you and I talked about, we had our breakout, we had our retest, and now we're just starting to freaking go, baby.
Yep. Exactly. It was a great day for it. We finally got a day where it was like 20%. A lot of people are saying about damn time,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes it just doesn't move. It takes its time. Let's put it that way. But I believe that we're definitely in the process of a nice larger run here. That was a nice couple candles that we got. And I think, if we can, if it does continue to consolidate a little bit and go back, if we can hold the 0.00180 that it was pretty stopped at as a strong support, I think this thing would probably go up to what is it looking left? The number that comes to mind, I don't have the charts really in front of me, obviously, is a 0.00240, that we might hit a little bit of that there, because that was support on the way down from the 0.00440 high that we had back in March. But it shouldn't be a strong resistance, because it really wasn't a strong support either.
Yeah, yeah, that plays a key factor. So you think right about here is where you want to hold? That's that
Yeah, I
two
want to
zero
at least the point
201
zero zero one eight zero. That seems to be where. What time
Yeah,
frame are you on there?
daily.
Okay, yeah, that seems to be where we were hitting some walls. Um, and yeah, I would like to see it really consolidate and hold support in that level. Um, this might be the support here that we're consolidating at, but I do expect it to potentially go a few back, or it just can keep going straight up. You never know.
Well, yeah, I mean, what we've seen with XRP, with XLM, with Solana, you
Yeah.
know, Corium, we're seeing a lot of these projects that are just melting up to close to their previous all-time highs from the last bull run in preparation for altcoin season, right?
Yep, and that very well could happen here. I mean, why wouldn't it?
You know what I'd love
One
to
can
see,
argue
man?
it both ways.
You know what I would really love to see in the melt up is I would love to see XEN work its way up to about a penny in the melt up phase, right? I was doing some reading from Rect Capital and from uh, Michael Vandepop. I don't know if you know those guys, but very, very prominent TA guys, come from TradFi and stuff like that. And, Michael Vandepop was saying today that, like, same thing that you and I have kind of been echoing, and that is that a lot of people are underestimating and undershooting how high some of these altcoins are going to be able to go because of recency bias, right?
Right.
You're used to doing 4 years of TA in a bear market where these moves are kind of half-ass runs and stuff, and like 100% pump in a bear market is big. We
Oh
just
yeah.
saw XLM run 460% in like 2 weeks, right? Like,
Right. Yeah.
so, and
Yeah.
that's not
Huge
even
move on
altcoin
that one.
season.
Right. Yep. There's a lot of the tokens, man, that are just saying, I don't give a crap what Bitcoin's doing. I don't care what the other alts are doing. We're going to run. So, and, today, in a day where there was a lot of red at that time, um, a coin standing out in green, double digit green at that, really makes a lot of new friends. So, you're getting a lot of people's eyes when they're scrolling through and looking and looking and looking, and you see the one green stand out in red. I mean, there's the name is in people's heads, at least for today, in the near future, but it gets people to know, hey, there's, what's this about? And a lot of times the herd will go with what's green, especially newer people. And, that's how you get new people on board.
But yeah, a lot of people look up top movers for the day and stuff like that. And when you see, when you for the next little while, you're going to see XCN at the near the top of that list because it's starting his melt up, right?
Right.
So, like, honestly, I have my target up here that I think that is going to be a safe bet for, it's if it copies XRP and that's not XLM. I'm just talking XRP here, right? So if I go down a little bit here, and I kind of let's get the ruler out, right? If I go from where we are now, I mean, if we run up 100%, and that's just rough 100%, right? Because like XRP's melted up like 150%, XLM's 460, right? So let's just give it a 100% run. Right here inside this little golden pocket, this is only a move of 40 to 57%. That's it.
Wow. Yeah.
That's easy.
Very easy. Right? We've seen in the market, man, it can happen in days or in a day or hours at that, especially this market.
Yeah, I mean, if we go from where we are now, if we go on 100% run, just like, you know, a lot of these other projects are doing right now in the melt up phase, we're looking at for price 20393, almost 204.
I'll take it. It's a great start, especially with where we've been. You know, we've been sitting down in this area for quite a while. I mean, long consolidation. You know, holding that 0.0012 thereabouts. You know, a little bit under. You have some wicks, but it's been a long time, man. I mean, there's no denying the breakout at this point, and I have no reason to believe that momentum's not going to continue to show itself to the upside into this move, whatever it may be, is complete. And, you know, it's still, I mean, if you're looking not short-sighted and you're still long-sighted, it's still a great entry for anybody that's on the fence about it. You know, I would like to see it consolidate. If it's not going to go down to the 0.0018, I would expect there to be some sort of reaction there. But if it does consolidate for a day or two here before continuing to move up, I mean, I would feel good about getting an entry there.
Well, it's been 7 months. It's been consolidating in this descending channel for 7 months. Now, just for comparison on another small cap project, JASMY ran in a similar descending channel for 3 months, and it broke up 500% in February from a 3-month consolidation in an identical channel. Right now, we've been consolidating for 7 months in here, so we could have an even more violent move to the upside. Right?
Agreed.
I mean, if I show you here, I'm going to show you.
JASMY looks like it was doing good today too, huh?
It was for a little while, but then we kind of got pulled back. But the other day it went up crazy. I think yesterday it went up pretty crazy.
Okay. It shot up that night we were doing a live stream the last time too. When we were on here, it wicked up real quick. It got eaten up.
See, we were here. This is JASMY, so we were here for 3 months inside this descending channel. Right, 3-month consolidation. Boom, 500% run to the upside. Right, that's just like that. It just went bam, 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 all the way up. That was a glorious time. That was February. So, I mean, to say that Onyx Coin can't do something, you know, very, very similar, you know, is an understatement. It might actually be a little bit more violent because, one, it's been in a longer consolidation, 7 months as opposed to 3.
Yeah.
And for 2, the market cap is so much lower. It can move more percentages to the upside a lot easier because JASMY's market cap was around, I think, 600 million or 700 million or something. I don't know, something like that. It wasn't anywhere near what Onyx Coin's market cap is right now and then it ran up 500%, right? So to say that, yeah, being such a smaller cap, being consolidated for that much longer, I mean, we could see it run significantly higher than a 500% run.
Oh, 100%. I'm trying to find something that might be helpful here, or just encouraging to people looking for something that's confluent to what we're saying here.
I'm trying to move this up so I can have a look at what a 100% move would look like, or a 500% move would look like. 500% would be, if it copies what JASMY did in February, it'd be 1 cent 113.
So
it's not out of the realm of possibility. We just saw JASMY do it in February.
So that's interesting you say that, because one of the guys that I am a member of his Patreon, he's a pretty much, I mean, I would say a friend of mine at this point. And he's in my opinion, a brilliant man. he let out a signal in his channel saying that on the 5-day, the golden ratio multiplier had confirmation on the 5-day time frame, and it'll be the third time that it's going to attempt resistance at 0.0045. And if that happens, you can expect potentially 800% move from there, which would target right around that 1 cent you're talking about. So,
and that wouldn't surprise me because
yeah.
again, 7 months of consolidation versus 3 months of consolidation, right?
Right.
So
And this guy hates crypto, like I told you. He has no emotional attachment. He doesn't hold it. He has no bias for saying it, but he put out the signal on it. So, yeah, man, I'm hopeful, man, between what we're seeing and what the chart's doing. And, also if you couple that with the potential for the Onyx Core release right at the right time when enough eyes are on this, it could even, put some gas on the fire. Touching on that, I did see this evening that the team I got to say once again, we are a DAO. There is no team, but we say team, is going to be releasing a series of tweets on Twitter or X, going over basically, for those that read the white paper, a more explained, in-depth analysis of what Onyx Core will be looking like. It'll be done in a series. They expect that to start very soon, which means they're getting some sort of signal on their end that this upgrade and this project is making some good strides. So we will see a series on that, which is beneficial for, I think, everyone that has any interest, including myself. I'm not a technical wizard by any means. I am a locksmith. So, it'll be really nice to be able to really have an understanding more, which is requested. This is something that I requested. I believe I told you a couple weeks back about, we as the ambassadors and stuff said, we want to know. We want to know so we can intellectually talk about this, so we can internalize and have an understanding about it and talk about it simplified so that people can get it that don't know all these terms and whatnot. So I think this is a really good step in the right direction. And they did post on their news channel that, quote unquote, they're just getting started. So I think maybe that little 20% today, man, breathes some life back into the team, which if that's what it takes, man, let's hold on to whatever, hope, whatever driving factor we have, and let's get moving. Interesting to see what it's going to do over the week for next week's stream. I'm curious because we seem to be potentially right in the throes of a nice move here, man.
Let me ask you this: if it does have somewhere between a 500 to an 800% breakout or melt up, right?
Yep.
And gets to that penny level before the parabolic part of altcoin season, because I don't think altcoin season is starting until middle of January at maybe February at the latest, but beginning of January.
Okay.
Would you sell?
If the charts tell me to, I'll say that. Yeah. If I'm looking at multiple indicators on multiple time frames and there's a lot of confluence between, it's one thing to look at a chart and have that scream one thing to you, but you can look at a different time frame, as and different things and see very conflicting statements. So if I were to see confluence between the majority of the different charts I'm looking at, and it seems extremely overbought for a period of time, and that there's some momentum shifting, hell yeah, I'd swing it. Yeah. Because profit's profit. If I don't catch the top, it's the market. There's always a lot of opportunities. There's always like this misunderstanding of, oh my God, if I don't do this, to the exact fullest or this right, I'm going to miss out on everything. As long as you're not forcing trades and looking for trades, often than not, there's something to capitalize on. But I wouldn't fault anybody for saying, hey, man, you know what? I'm really happy with this, and enough's enough, and I'm good. And that's, we all have different risk tolerances, different circumstances that we come from. And we also have to ask ourselves, like, what's your mental state going to be like if you were to choose to hold this all the way up to the top and constantly in fear that you're making a mistake? Like, we got to protect our own health at some point too. So, profit's profit, man, and hats off. I'm hoping that I'll be one of the ones that holds this, closer to the top than not. But I would start scaling out. I definitely wouldn't sell it all. Yeah. I would start scaling out at either different fib levels or different hard targets, just like regular fixed cash targets, or, and scale out that way.
I would be real conflicted about it, to be honest with you. I mean, I feel the same way. I would kind of monitor, all aspects of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But what would weigh heavily on me is a melt up phase to around a penny before the parabolic part of the bull run even kicks off.
Yeah.
That would be hard. But I think I probably would take some profits in a run that violent. I probably would, because there would likely be a correction, and then I might, accumulate a little bit more.
Exactly. More often than not, I mean, I would also look at what the rest of the market's doing. If the rest of the market isn't doing the same thing, then that would probably make my case stronger for taking profits. If the rest of the market was pumping that violently too, and it became obvious, that we're like in the buildup of alt season, or it's like an iffy time, it could be starting a little earlier than we think, or whatever, I'd probably stay put or take a little bit of profit just to feel, decent about it.
Yeah.
But,
I'm looking forward to. Oh, go ahead.
If we're also, we're also moving right now without even having a working product. Let's not forget that. We don't even have. We have staking.
Yep.
We need a little more. We don't have a platform, and we're moving. So, it all depends on where we are. If we went up, 8x right now before Onyx Cores even launched, I would probably weigh that in my argument for taking stuff. It would be a pretty deliberated conversation in my head and looking at things, but I definitely could tell you that I would like to think at this stage, because I am a human and I get subjected to emotion, watching the charts and stuff like that too. But I would like to think that it would be very thought out before I did anything.
Yeah.
I would definitely run to the people too that I trust, that are level-headed individuals, and bounce what I'm going to do off of them. Not so much to take, their advice, but just to hear myself talk, to air it out, and kind of take some of the steam off the emotional top, so that I can make a level-headed decision.
Yeah, I recently took profits on one of my projects that was running pretty crazy, and I took the profits out, and I split them in half, and I divided them between two more projects, and that I think can 5 to 10x. So sometimes you got to do that, right?
100%.
Got a question from Bruno here. He says, I just started staking. I'm not sure how to claim rewards work. Are there steps?
Sure. So yeah, if you're able to stake, obviously you went into your, to the Onyx app and you connected your wallet. And when you go to the staking page, you press connect wallet, and it shows you what your wallet has in stake. And also right above that in a smaller font is your balance of rewards. There's a button right on the right of that says claim. You click claim. It will give you the ETH price to claim your rewards. Once they're claimed, they go back into your wallet. They don't add to your staked amount automatically. They go back into whatever wallet you're staking out of. And if you wanted to compound them, you can then click stake again and click max, and it'll let you know how much you have in your wallet to stake in addition. So that's another transaction fee. However, I will say that right now, all of those are refunded. All the gas fees are refunded. So as long as you're not unstaking, any claims that you make or restaking to compound will be reimbursed to your wallet. So it's there's no as long as you have the money to put up, it doesn't become not worthwhile to claim rewards. Prior to that, I would wait up until I had like 100,000 XCN in my wallet in my claiming rewards to justify the ETH expense. Because that's also going to come off my profit, the cash value of the reward. And then again, to restake that. So that's two actions you got to accommodate. But right now, all of that is free. So that's a great opportunity to compound your rewards.
Yeah, I was going to say it's claiming your rewards and staking are free, but unstaking is not free.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. If you take it off the protocol, they're not going to give you money for that. But anything that's about putting stuff on or claiming or voting, reimbursing. And I think they did, I think it was a little over 2,000 was the amount for the first month. So there's plenty of fat to chew on there. We'll be getting reimbursements for quite some time, unless that we reach some crazy amount of staking pressure and, you know, people coming in for staking huge amounts, then it's a different story.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We got, are you guys excited for Onyx Core? I'm excited to know
Here's my
what
buddy.
it all entails.
I recognize that name from the chat. Yeah, we're very excited. I mean, I want to know, man. You know, I like to know what's going on. Also like to have something to look forward to. I'm like one of these guys, man, that, you know, I'll call my wife up in February and be like, "Oh my God, dude, they came back out with the Valentine's Day Dunkin' Donuts. You know, like I don't need much to hold on to get me excited. So you tell me something like, you know, that is a huge milestone in a project I hold, man. Needless to say, dude, I check every day. I'm a thorn in the team's ass about, could you give us something to chew on here? You know, even if it's just a little nugget for today, you know? So I'll be very excited once these series of tweets come out. I think there'll be a lot of question marks that we can erase. There'll be a more sense of a clear direction about where we're heading, what this protocol is going to look like, what services we're going to offer. You know, it's going to be really good morale booster too for the community, because it's been a while. I mean, we had that big letdown with the VUSD experiment, and we really haven't had much happen since then other than the ambassador program. So this is something that we need to breathe life back into the ecosystem and back into the investors and just overall morale. Get the developers excited again too, you know, that their work's going to be out and, you know, in the light, and momentum, you know, builds momentum to either the up or down, as we know. So yeah, I'm very hopeful, very excited.
Jackie says, I'm up almost 50% on my position. Feels good. Jackie, absolutely, man.
That's
I
right.
love to see you guys winning.
Absolutely. That's great. That's a huge amount.
Will you ever get USA staking? There's
Not
USA
really.
staking now.
Yeah, there's the staking doesn't go. It's decentralized. It knows no borders, unless there's legal restrictions in the countries you're in to doing something like that. It's a different story. But the U.S., I am alive, well, and in the U.S. right now, and staking is working great. So get on it, man.
Gotta get accurate information, man. Gotta get accurate information.
Yep.
I've never even heard that rumor before that you
Me
can't
neither.
stake in the U.S.
Yeah, no.
Interesting. XCN, let's go, James. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, man. We have another question. Do you have any thoughts on XYO? I do have. I like XYO. I'm bullish on XYO. I
don't know
did
anything about the project.
I did a breakdown, a detailed breakdown, deep dive video about a year and a half ago on XYO. I mean, the tech hasn't changed. It's an old video, but you know, if you want to get my thoughts on it, go ahead, right? Go watch it, right? But yeah, man. Like I said, though, with this melt up phase, I'm really excited to see how high a lot of these projects like XCN will be, let's say, by the first week of January, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really interested to see where things are going to be going by then.
Yep.
I've been paying a lot of attention. I've been studying a lot of what's happened in the 2020, 2021 transition period in the bull run. And if we continue, look at the hiccups here. If we continue to mirror that, I'm very excited about, you know, what potentially things could do. Here's the problem for me, though, is that a lot of people are making a big mistake right now, and it's because they're being misled by other content creators, right? And that is that the newer people to crypto are under the impression right now that we're in altcoin season, right? And that's going to cause a lot of people to sell early.
Yeah, the signs aren't there yet, man. It's you know, you had some nice moves, but that's going to happen just in general with Bitcoin going up. You know, the fact that it is the legacy tokens would make me think that we're close, though. The biggest moves were by those legacy tokens, those, you know, the ADAs, XLM, you know, your Solana hitting all new time high, your XRP. Those are generally the first to move during an alt season, but we are not there yet.
For me, Bitcoin dominance needs to be way down here between 54 and 55% to even be considering it being altcoin season right now. We're not even close. I showed on a live stream this morning a breakdown of the Bitcoin dominance charts from the last two bull runs, right? 2017 and 2021. And Bitcoin dominance took an extremely here, let me get back to my brush. Took an extreme dump to the downside before altcoin season started, right? Okay. Where this is not altcoin season, not even close. We're
what
not
was happening during that plummet. How long of a period of time did it take for it to reach that level and go down to the box that you had? What was the period of time?
Oh, it was violent. It was probably a couple of weeks. When it starts going, it starts going like it's sharp.
Did you, in any of your research, did you see what like the markets were doing, or what particular like if any? There was obviously got to be a shift happening then if Bitcoin dominance is going down. What tokens were gathering off their lows there?
Well, your Ethereum Bitcoin pair started really running to the upside, and Bitcoin continues to run to the upside at the same time, right? And that's another sign that is that, as weird as it sounds, when Bitcoin dominance starts to take a nosedive, the price of Bitcoin actually continues to go up. I know it's weird, but that's exactly what happens. But maybe because it's the Ethereum pair or something like that, but or like the fact that Bitcoin's paired with essentially everything, right? That might be one of the reasons why. But you will notice, if you look at the Ethereum BTC chart, you'll notice that that's starting to moon, because all that, like a lot of liquidity is starting to flow obviously into Ethereum first, right? Right. And then like Ethereum, Solana, and then stuff like Cardano, XRP, Avalanche. You'll start to see those blue chips, those top ones, really start to go as well. But the first signs are starting to show, and those are that a lot of those blue chip projects, a lot of the projects in general, are starting to work their way back up to close to the last season's all-time high. Right. Like XRP, I think last bull run, XRP got to, I think, like $1.90 or something like that, $1.92. Well, it hit $1.61 the other day, right? It's pretty freaking close to the last bull run's all-time high. Yep. XLM got to like, I think XLM actually broke past last one's all-time high. It was like 61 cents, I think, or something the other day. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a
chart. It was a dominance chart titled Other. And so what it is it's all the altcoins in the market, excluding obviously Bitcoin and excluding the top 10 cryptos, your Solanas, all the ones we talked about. And it was showing that it's starting to form a very strong bullish divergence. So, yeah. And that takes time to cook anyway. So who knows, that might coincide with your timeline when things start moving, but it is starting to form a bullish divergence, so which is noteworthy. But I'll just do the best I can, man, to do my research and to look at the charts and to find out which seems to be the most common thread across them all, and make a decision and go with my gut. And whatever you do, stand by it. If you come out in profit, I think it's important to be proud, no matter what, that you were able to come out on the other side of it. There's going to be a lot of people, just like at the end of any bull market, that are going to be in a loss and that are going to be waiting for years to even get back to that break even point. That's capitalism at its finest. There's going to be the Chiefs and the Indians here. So just do your research, man. Stick with Rob, to anyone listening, and stay level headed. Make your best shake at it. But I would do the message I would say is to do any decision you make from a place of strength and empowerment, not out of fear, not out of emotions, and be bold and proud with it as you do it.
I just wanted to note real quick. It's funny how, if you recall, I'm sure you probably do, but last week, about 7 days ago, right?
Yep.
Or no, it was actually Tuesday or Wednesday anyway, about 4 days ago, when we were up here in this candle, I remember you and I were discussing the fact that that Bitcoin was not going to just smash its way through $100,000 because there's a massive sell wall right here in this this area.
Yep.
And that this is going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a battle between the Bulls and the Bears. Could be for a couple weeks, right?
Yeah. It's a huge psychological level too. I mean, you got people that don't give a damn about fibs, that anything like that, and they're just gonna, it's a nice even round moon target, for people that are Bitcoin, Maximus, say 100K, I'll sell it 100K, and it's gonna be a fight.
Yeah,
but I have seen some pretty impressive sell orders and sell walls being eaten up back at like 95K, and 5K Bitcoin is not a huge difference when you're talking about the amount of Bitcoin that they were eating up. And it's definitely possible here that, anything could happen. It could break. It's just insane how much money is moving there to eat that amount of sells up. And if even a fraction of that comes into the altcoin markets, man, we're going to have a hell of a freaking winter and spring ahead.
Well, here's the thing. People have been asking me, well, why would people sell Bitcoin at $100,000 or $99,000 if, we're going to go much higher? Well, simply put, a lot of these people bought Bitcoin when it was around 15, 16K, maybe 20K, right? So what's happening right now with this massive sell wall is a lot of these people are taking their profits on Bitcoin, and that's why you're seeing a melt up on altcoins, is because they're starting to roll their profits from Bitcoin into the altcoins to compound those gains, right? To really start to run now. That's how a lot of people who've been around in the market, that's how we operate. We buy a shit ton of Bitcoin at the bottom of the bear market. And then when we start getting close to this time frame, when Bitcoin dominance is taking over and Bitcoin's going parabolic, then we start taking profits and we start rolling it into the altcoins. That's what's happening.
At the end of the day, man, these guys are trying to, they're not trying to add their altcoin positions. They're trying to make a bunch of money in the altcoins to grow their Bitcoin position, which grows their cash position. I mean, it's a cycle, and you got to play the game with them. You see, these alts go down 95, some of them 99% from the highs to the lows. I mean, they're not holding and married to it. It's a means to get somewhere for them. So, and markets obviously are pumped, dumped, manipulated up, manipulated down. And I think, that once every 4 years, we see that magical point in time where people are cycling that money over and you see crazy manipulation and runs to the upside. And it's, it's nice to be on the good side of that if you know what's coming and you know what to expect. And you have realistic expectations, knowing that they probably will be exceeded. But, I wouldn't be the one sitting on the sideline either calling for a $500 XRP, so just be realistic, with what you're expecting. And, I think there's going to be a lot of happy people. And, there's going to be people that aren't able to do it, even with the best of their ability at the moment. And, it's at the very least, just remember to chalk it up as a learning experience. I know I did. I didn't, it cost me a lot of money to learn what I know now, and I'm still no expert. But we grow from it.
And that's the thing is using what happens as a lesson, right? It's time in the market. Like I was talking yesterday about JASMY, and there was a lot of people in the comment section of my videos over the last 2 weeks saying, I'm selling my JASMY because everything's moving except for JASMY, right? And I'm just like, man, like the worst thing you can do is sell a project before it's pumped to go chasing green candles. And then sure enough, like 2 days ago, JASMY broke out, pumped up 40%, it was like 44% in like 2 hours. It was like, those people who did that, I hope that they learned a lesson from their emotional decision. And the next time they're feeling that way, they go, whatever project they're in, I hope they can step back and go, wait, the last time I felt this way, I got screwed, right?
Right. I noticed that feeling of like what's going on, everyone else is winning, I'm not winning is a very natural feeling. typically under two different scenarios where either you are not diversified enough and you've put in really all your eggs in one basket, and then you're watching everything else pump around it, or if you over invested. So I would emphasize keeping a healthy position size and also being diversified. And when the portfolio is green and you have one outlier that's taking its time in between green and red, it's not going to bother you so much. It's not going to make you go to that point of like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. I'm missing out. Everything else is going, that generally comes from either a lack of proper diversification or over a unhealthy position size. That's just my experience, because I felt that, and then you end up making moves out of desperation. You leave one, that pumps after you leave it. You get into the other, that one then tanks. And then you're like, oh my God. And every time you move, you're losing money. You're losing money little by little. Do that 20 times, man. You're done. You're down 90% during a bull run. And you're screwing yourself. So, I've been there.
Well, I know that you said that you only had about a half hour, man. So if you got a dart, I totally understand, man.
Actually, like I said, I got to go prep for a big project that I was unaware is on the schedule for tomorrow. So I apologize to cut short. It's a gift of having children who work for you. Sign dad up for a 10 o'clock at night, hardware rekeying. But it's good seeing you, man. And we'll do it the same time next week. And hopefully we have some nice things to talk about in the development of Onyx and the market, man.
Sounds good, brother. Have a good time tonight.
Take care, guys.
All right, guys. I will be back probably in about an hour with another live stream. So see you later, guys.